All right, so first up we have Jay-Z in My Lifetime Volume 1, and your cut on here was Imaginary Player. Tell us about this track.
That's like a slept on Jay-Z classic.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere that that was one of his favorite tracks of his.
Really?
Yeah, personally that I think it's like one of Jay-Z's best verses.
Yeah.
All of it. And obviously at the end of this song there is the what's the difference between a 4.0 and a 4.6.
All right.
About 30 or 40,000.
Exactly. So
Right,
that's
right.
like an ad lib at the end of that
Yeah.
song. So, you know, for the heads, like 'cause that became a classic on it. That became like a meme
Yeah.
of that era.
Right.
It was a meme before the memes.
Right, of
And
course.
it's literally like from a tiny little ad lib where the volume of his voice is like, you know, super low and everything. So
Can't even tell.
can't even tell. Yeah.
Can't
So
tell.
I mean, I just feel like that's like a great, you know, Volume 1 is like the most slept on of all three.
True.
Obviously.
Yes.
That's probably like the most slept on Jay-Z album ever.
Yeah,
that
totally.
was good. Not to like there's the bad ones like
Yeah, yeah.
Come and all that, but this was like great and
Right.
slept on. Yeah, he was like in rare form. You know, he was like all up in the Southern thing, and
Yep.
he was bigging up Master P before everybody
Yep.
else and
Yep.
all that.
Yeah,
Like
on
I
this
just,
track, too.
yeah, he was like that was like trendsetter.
Yep.
You know, influencer, early adopter Jay-Z
right,
in rare form.
Totally.
And the track is hot.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a bit of an 80s thing, so naturally that
Kind
resonates
of
with
grabbed
me.
you. Yeah.
That Renee
Yeah.
and Angela sample.
Yeah,
Imaginary
it's just
Playmates.
hot. Yeah, it's hot. I mean, first of all, he had, you know, I Love the Dough with the
Right.
Renee and Angela
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
so that's kind of a continuation. It's like, it's jiggy,
Yeah.
but it's also hard. It's like one of his hardest verses, so
The hard jiggy cut.
yeah,
Okay.
I love that. That to
Alright,
me was
alright.
Jay, you know?
And there's also, I also want to talk about this because this was,
Oh, fire.
this
I
is
mean, the
featured-
scene, yes, that's, that is like, that, I mean, that's Oscar levels right there.
Yeah.
That is, in the
Yeah.
straight to DVD world,
yeah.
that is the hottest. He was getting this from all the Southern cats.
Right, right.
Because I bet you, like, you know, all those Southern guys had a million movies. Like, you know, we didn't even know about them.
Right.
But yeah, that's when, I mean, again, like, I think those guys were, you know, they were early adopters on everything.
Right.
He was really on the South's
Yeah.
tip, and he was
Yeah.
bringing all that flavor to New York. It was amazing. Yeah,
Good
this
point.
is a classic. Like, if you,
So good.
I gotta find it on YouTube. It's probably out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, and there's
It's
there's
so hot.
The
I
way
mean,
that he, especially like with Friend or Foe Part 1 and 2,
Exactly.
like the way he like, you know, almost wrote those for the movie.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
And
Yeah.
if you haven't seen Streets of Watching, I highly recommend
Yeah.
watching this movie. I mean,
it's
it's great. You know,
yeah,
it's an
and
hour long.
And like it's like, you know, if I mean, there's so much of rap's current DNA that's
Mm-hmm.
in there. Like, you know, all of Ferg's thing and like the bulletproof vest that 50 was wearing and then
Yeah.
Ferg wore, and then that's
Right.
all from Jay on that thing. It's really like that's when you really see Jay the trendsetter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like, so I'm not even the biggest Jay fan.
Right,
like
right.
I love Jay, you
Right.
know, like we all do, but I'm not like a Jay stan. I love Jay's. This is the Jay-Z that I love. You know what I mean? Because that's when he was on the top of the trend-setting game.
Right.
Inventing slang, just like making us all like use his, you know, the
Yeah.
do-rag a certain way, the hat in a certain way. It was like, he was it. So
Yeah.
that's
All
the
right.
song.
Jay-Z, Imaginary Player.